The nitrogen cycle is kind of unique as a cycle because it doesn't go in a nice circle. It doesn't have a really nice pattern that it follows, although all of the steps in the nitrogen cycle can go in any order. So we're going to first look at the forms of nitrogen. There are four main forms of nitrogen. The first one is atmospheric nitrogen, and that is a molecule that's written as N2. That's two nitrogens that are bonded together, and it's found in the air, so the air we breathe has nitrogen in it. The second form of nitrogen is organic nitrogen, which is found in plants and animals, any kind of organism, and it's found in their DNA and in their amino acids, which make up the proteins inside their body and their muscles. And it's just written as N for nitrogen. The third kind of nitrogen is nitrate. It's written as NO3-. That means that's nitrogen bound to 3 oxygens, and it's found in surface soil, so soil that's close to the surface. It wouldn't be found very deep into the earth, and it's also found in water. And then the last kind of nitrogen is ammonia, which is very similar to nitrate. It's NH4, that's nitrogen bonded to 4 hydrogens, and it's found in the soil as well, but it doesn't have to be found in the surface soil. It can be found very deep in the soil as well. Okay, so the nitrogen cycle is just the process by which these forms of nitrogen go from being part of one form to part of another form. So we're going to look at the processes that make this happen. There are 5 main processes in the nitrogen cycle. The first process is fixation. Fixation is where nitrogen that's in the atmosphere, in the air, is converted into ammonia in the soil. And this can happen one of 2 ways. Either bacteria can fix the nitrogen, and it's called fixation because the verb is to fix. Bacteria can fix the nitrogen and bring it from being part of the air to being part of the soil, or lightning or some kind of really strong electrical charge can also fix nitrogen. This is something that people can't do, and so it's very important that nitrogen be in the soil because plants need it to survive, and so we need the bacteria or some kind of electrical charge to be able to take it out of the air and put it back into the soil. The second process is mineralization, and that is misspelled there. It's mineralization. And that's the process where we take organic nitrogen, which is nitrogen that's part of either plants and animals, or part of DNA of any organism or their amino acids, and it's converted to ammonia, which is part of the soil. So basically this is where something that was an organism breaks down and becomes part of the soil. And this can be done by decomposers, things like bacteria and fungi that are designed to break down dead things. So that's mineralization. The next process is nitrification. Nitrification is where we take ammonia, which is only found in soil, and we convert it into nitrate, which can be found either in soil or water. And the way that you do this is you expose that ammonia to oxygen. So the reason nitrate can only be found on the surface of the soil is because it has to be exposed to oxygen. It has to be able to touch the air. And then in water, water has oxygen in it, so it's exposed to oxygen and it turns into nitrate. Now the reason nitrification is important is because denitrification is one way that nitrogen gets back up into the atmosphere. Through denitrification, we take nitrate, which is found either in the surface soil or water, and it's converted into atmospheric nitrogen. And this process is also done by bacteria, so we rely on bacteria for a lot of processes in this cycle. And then the last process is uptake. Uptake is very simple. It's just where plants or animals take nitrogen up into their system to become part of their body. So it can either start out as ammonia or nitrate, and that means it's either going to be in the soil or it's going to be in water, and it's converted into organic nitrogen or made part of the organism. If you're a plant, that means you're taking it up through the roots. If you're an animal, that means you're eating plants that have made nitrogen a part of their organism already. So those are the processes in the nitrogen cycle. They can happen in any order, so it's not necessarily one right after another, but you can mix them up, and these processes are what cycle nitrogen through our 4 forms of nitrogen that we talked about at the beginning.